Most police officers are real heroes, despite the fact that many people condemn them. Their amazing feats will astound you, particularly when one police officer discovers a newborn abandoned on the street. James Hurst, officer. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. You would think that a police officer would take a baby who has been abandoned to safety. This police officer shocked everyone by going above and above. When he and his fellow officers discovered a small kid alone on the streets of Georgia, Officer James Hurst had just recently started working as a police officer. A 16-month-old infant was spotted strolling by himself, so they were called to Cuyler Brownsville in Savannah. Fortunately, the police apprehended the youngster and promptly sent them to the hospital to ensure their well-being. The issue arose at this point. It was obvious that this tiny child had been through a lot in his brief life and was feeling overpowered by the strange surroundings and the attention he was getting. It was difficult for the medical professionals to check him since he grew agitated soon and started sobbing loudly. Officer James Hurst once again showed his compassion in this situation. Officer Hurst, a father of two himself, knew just what to do and was adept at soothing wailing babies. Officer Hurst explained the circumstances, stating, "It was clear that the young kid was greatly distressed. He was screaming and in tears. The hospital professionals agreed when I requested if I may hold him to help him relax and quiet down so they could continue his medical treatment. So I went to get him. After a few minutes, he had slept out on my chest and I was on my feet. I sat down on the bed to make it more comfortable for both of us, even though my body armor and pistol belt were heavy. This may seem like a tiny gesture of goodwill, but it really shows how kind Officer Hurst is. He could have left the baby in the hands of the medical staff and gone back to work, just like the other cops who had taken the youngster to the hospital. But he decided to remain and console the boy, since he couldn't stand to see him so upset and alone. The photo of Officer Hurst's modest yet courageous deed went viral on social media right after. Unknown to us, the little youngster had likely had minimal social interaction and slept off in Officer Hurst's embrace. This had a profound effect on people all across the internet. Although Officer Hurst does not believe his actions were heroic, everyone else does and has been giving him a lot of praise. That's what we do every single day, not just me, but the 600 officers that are in this department, was all Officer Hurst had to say about it. There is more to this work than merely apprehending criminals. It's about meeting the needs of the people in the places where you operate. I definitely consider myself a hero, even though he might not. Officer Ryan Holetz. Similar to Officer James Hurst, this police officer was devastated to witness the predicament this infant was in and was frantic to offer it some tiny solace. It all began when Albuquerque, New Mexico, police officer Ryan Holetz got a report regarding a potential theft at a convenience shop. He left in the hopes that the situation would be resolved quickly so he could go on with his day. That was obviously not at all the case. His attention was drawn to a couple sitting against a cement wall after he diffused the situation at the convenience shop on September 23rd. It didn't take him long to discover that a guy and a woman were getting ready to inject heroin during the day. Ryan activated his body camera out of instinct and went up to the pair. To his horror, he saw that the woman was inserting the needle into the arm of her partner. To make matters worse, she was obviously quite pregnant. Ryan can be heard begging, "You're going to kill your baby," on the body cam. "Why must you be doing such things? It will destroy your child." The woman, who turned out to be 35-year-old Crystal Champ, initially appeared stunned and irritated by Ryan's interruption. But as soon as she heard this, she started crying. "I'm almost 8 months pregnant, but I'm too hooked to quit," she informed the officer. Later, Crystal tragically revealed to a news organization that, although she supported abortion, she was never given the opportunity to get one. Officer Holetz's remarks were particularly painful because of this. "I was like, how dare you judge me?" she subsequently stated. "You don't realize how difficult this is. I am aware of my terrible character and the terrible circumstances I find myself in. Since her teenage years, Champ has battled addiction. She had been homeless for over 2 years and had a severe heroin and crystal meth addiction when Officer Holitz discovered her. Her daily medicine expenditures might reach $50. She detested not being in charge of her life, yet she tried several times but was never able to become clean. Officer Holitz is seen interviewing Champ and the man for more than 10 minutes on the body camera. Specifically, you can hear him talking to Champ and pointing her the risks she is putting her child in. Champ tragically confided in Officer Holitz that she fervently hoped the infant would be adopted at this point. Holitz made a choice that would alter the course of his life as a result of this. He became a human being instead of a police officer, Champ relates. Rather than accusing them of possession, Holitz produced a photograph. He showed Champ his wife and 4 kids, including his newborn, who was 10 months old at the time. Officer Holitz made a spontaneous offer to adopt her child. Champ was completely stunned, but Holitz clarified that he was urged to take a bet by God. "God brought us all together," he remarked. "I just don't know how else to describe it." Champ, of course, concurred, but Holitz had the minor issue of telling his wife, Rebecca. He got in his car and drove to meet Rebecca, who was fortunately only a few miles away. He told her right away about the infant he had promised to adopt and the heroin junkie he had just seen. Fortunately, this couple had previously planned to adopt a kid. All they wanted was for their youngest to get a little older. Rebecca immediately consented, demonstrating that she has a heart as good as Holitz's. She said, "He already knew my heart on the issue, and he knew that I would be totally on board with it. And he was right." Hope, the baby girl Champ gave birth to on October 12th, was warmly received by the Holitz family a few days later. "I love you. Goodbye," Champ said, as she spent her last moments with her child, and she gave Hope to Rebecca, saying, "Take care of her for me." Hope, however, had a difficult beginning in life since she was born addicted to opiates, which is regrettably a typical occurrence in the U.S. Hope even received methadone therapy and had to go through a torturous detoxification procedure. Thankfully, she recovered completely after a few weeks in the hospital and was given permission to return home with the assurance that she would receive routine checks. A former addict at the drug rehab center, Mending Fences, addressed Crystal Champ's sister. She made the decision to abandon her life on the streets and start her sober journey in Florida after receiving a lot of support. She is remarkably sober today and still keeps up a tight friendship with the Holitz. As she goes on, she frequently asks Ryan for help since she sees him as a big brother. Crystal maintains a framed picture of the Holitz over her bed and views them all as her guardian angels. In a touching turn of events, Champ is always welcome to join Hope in their house as long as she maintains her cleanliness, providing a lovely ending to their turbulent journey. Jeremy Thomas, an officer. Officer Thomas performed a little act of compassion for a stranger by using his authority. Even while he didn't do something as radical as adopting a child, his assistance undoubtedly helped a homeless guy start again. The incident involving Officer Thomas and this homeless man that was making the rounds on the internet a while back probably caught everyone completely off guard. On September 11, 2019, Detroit police Officer Thomas stumbled onto a homeless guy who was having difficulty shaving. It wasn't going too well, unfortunately. Using a puddle on the road next to him to rinse the razor off, he was straining to grip a razor and provide a clean cut. When Officer Thomas saw what was happening, he jumped in and offered assistance right away. Without the presence of Jill Mativa Schaefer and her family at Comerica Park, this modest act of heroism could have gone undetected. They had observed Officer Thomas's thoughtful act while attending the Detroit Tigers game, which was rained out. The first person to witness Officer Thomas helping Stanley Nelson was Jill, who was so amazed that she snapped a couple pictures. Later, she posted them to Facebook with the following caption: "This Detroit police officer is incredible. To assist this man with shaving, he went above and above. Since other people were likewise astounded by the behavior, the pictures swiftly went viral." Jill clarified, "I snapped the photo because I felt it was a really kind and altruistic act on the part of an officer. I wanted to draw attention to the positive aspects of police personnel despite all the negative connotations. She's entirely right. Most police officers have recently been subjected to unjustified criticism, particularly in the media, as a result of the conduct of a select minority. Positive portrayals of what it means to be a police officer are provided by actions such as these. These tales simply warmed your heart, didn't they? Tell us in the space provided for comments. Thank you. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.